Well, as we're seeing, more than 1.3 million Ukrainians have now fled across the border to neighbouring European countries. And the UN warns that what we're witnessing is the greatest refugee crisis in a century. It estimates more than 4 million people will become refugees, while inside Ukraine millions more will be displaced by Russian bombs and rockets. Europe correspondent Lisette Raymer reports from Lviv in western Ukraine.
You don't need to see guns, bullets or bombs to find the front line of this war, because it's here, in the eyes of those who have already seen too much suffering for their years, and in the distress of a mother who survived giving birth in a bomb shelter last week, only to find herself now begging for a train ticket across the border. As the war escalates and devastates, the number of people fleeing Ukraine continues to rise exponentially.
2 bombs come down and our house it was shaken like that. We doesn't have bomb shelter.
Wartime experiences are rapidly becoming everyday ones for everyday Ukrainians.
We want to come back home. We don't want to leave our home, but we doesn't have another choice.
So they join the line for the train bound for Poland. But it is tense and laced with exhaustion and desperation. Most of these Ukrainians have already made the 7-hour journey from the burning capital of Kyiv and are now faced with another 4-hour wait here, at least.
I'm very sad and scared. Mom as well.
Above ground, the carriages of the first train west have already been filled with the same stories.
We didn't want to live there. We want to live in our house, our home.
Overflowing with grief and disbelief, and children who haven't yet registered the full weight of the war. Although, has anyone?
How are you feeling?
Like the rest of the world, this woman searches for the words worthy of this moment.
No words. Yes, no words. It's hard.
No words, nowhere to stay, but she's on track to safety. And it's no wonder that as this train pulls out of the station, the stalled crowd below starts to surge towards the next.
So dangerous there. So...
Go.
Towards the promise of a life that isn't ruled by war.
It has been 10 days of this. Thousands of people waiting hours underground to catch a train to safety. The smell is horrific, but the fear is much harder to bear.
There are only 4 trains a day from Lviv and there are more people than seats. But if you can squeeze in, you can stay. So pets are dragged along the floor and the littlest legs struggle to keep up with the rest as panicked refugees run down the platform searching for an opening, running out of hope as they run out of train. It's the final rush to freedom away from the horror they've just escaped.
There are some explosions.
Are you looking forward to being on this train?
Yes.
But for the men, Lviv is as good as it's going to get. From Kharkiv, where 34 civilians died in a 24-hour period this week, this fighting-aged man seeks sanctuary here before the inevitable call to duty.
How will this end?
I think that Putin die in his bunker and we will dance on his grave.
Their spite, their anger is fueled by a deep despair at the pain that's already been caused.
It's really terrible. I was safe for our friends in all country. Help for us, help for Ukraine, because the Russian people kill us about nothing.
These people are not the exception. These scenes are not one-offs. The greatest refugee crisis of this century is unfolding 24 hours a day. And with hope fading quickly, all Ukrainians have left to hold on to now is each other.
Well, Lisette joins us now live from Lviv. And Lisette, those people are asking for our help. What can New Zealanders do?
Well, most of the major aid organisations are now here on the ground offering support, so donating to any of those is an obvious option. But there are more creative alternatives emerging. One which has been gaining momentum has seen people from all over the world book accommodation on Airbnb here in Ukraine, obviously with no intention of ever checking in or showing up, but they just want to offer that instant financial aid to people here. And it is already having a tremendous effect. If you are worried about the booking fees, Airbnb has has waived those in the interim for the time being, and already in 24 hours 61,000 rooms were booked, the equivalent of nearly $2 million worth of aid. Often those bookings are accompanied by kind messages of love and support, and they are all received and read and shared here in Ukraine. We are often stopped by people who ask us where we are from and then thank us and show immense gratitude for all of the aroha they feel from around the globe.
What an amazing gesture, Lizette, there live from Lviv. Thanks very much.